My name is Kaymar L.A.K. Williams. I'm from the Bronx, currently living in Atlanta. I'm an entrepreneur. This is my brand right here, Late Bloomers. Late Bloomers is the brand that we created about 2017, and it's a brand about just constantly blooming. And the aid is infinite, so it's not late like on time, but it's just infinitely blooming based upon your skills, concept, spirituality, your well-being as a human being,
yes, sir.
And just changing the trajectory of what a businessman is supposed to be in the black community.
Yeah.
So when did you get into that? I mean, why did you get into that?
I got into it because it's kind of my calling. I look at it like I wanted to change the trajectory of what the opportunity was for a black man in America, and taking control of the narrative,
sure,
and not letting others control the narrative of where they see you, but tapping into your own story and being the author of your story. Someone said I was a last-minute person, right? But in the Bible it says the last shall be first. What a late bloomer was, and the late bloomers was the people who took time to soak up the concept of just life, wisdom, and knowledge, and later on in life it starts to unfold.
So did you have a concern for our black society in coming up with that concept? You know, looking at the younger people, the way they're not really focusing on their future, maybe just wasting time, something like that.
Yeah, that was the main reason why I did come up with the concept, because I started to realize that it's easier to live someone else's narrative, and it's not being taught of what your history is, the truth of what your history comes from. So we're given a template and a blueprint to follow from elementary all the way to college, and then so forth and so on.
You're a really good basketball player. How did that come about?
I've been playing basketball since I was 4 years old. I grew up in the Bronx, so
yeah,
it's like second nature. Everyone plays basketball.
Right.
So I grew up in the Bronx, where it's like, you know, everyone has that competitive nature, and
yep,
it was just it's something that you carry around as bragging rights. So
yeah,
when as a teenager, I was like recruited since I was 12.
yeah,
Always been at the elite level of
yep,
like competition.
yep,
And it was just something that I look at basketball as a game of life. So
yeah,
it's critical thinking, the analytics
sure
of it builds character,
yeah,
it builds toughness, and not just basketball. I just played sports, period.
yeah.
So yeah, so sports was just a way to gauge my critical thinking and my competitive nature, and then also using those tools to carry over into life and the business.
You made a lot of emphasis towards spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts about the afterlife? You believe in the existence of God, or what?
I do believe in the existence of God. I do like man is the image of God, and we are the human form of what God is on this earth. And I feel like heaven is on earth already.
Okay.
Based off your the nature of how you think.
Right.
So the kingdom is already how you think in your mind. You can create heaven. So I don't go into situations looking at, like, especially sports. I don't win or lose. I just win because I learn, or I always learn something, so I keep winning.
Yeah.
So I learn what to do better the next time. So I don't go in the concept of bad or good. I just learn from experiences, and then how to take that experience and do it better the next time.
Use the positive motivation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, that's what Jesus said about the afterlife. He talked about, he actually talks about hell more than anybody in the whole New Testament, you know? Most secular historians know that he was an actual real person. As a matter of fact, there's different theories on the resurrection of, did he really raise from the dead, and did he just pass out, or did people fake his death, or did somebody steal his body and portray he was really him? So man, if you were to stand before God tonight, and I hope you live to be 200, man, but if you were to stand before God tonight, what's your highest % chance you think you'll have of getting into heaven? 0% you go to hell, and 100% you get into heaven. I know you said heaven is here, but Jesus said it a little different. But how would you go about answering that question?
I'm going to heaven. I'm already there.
Yep. What do you mean?
I feel like we're already living in heaven. I'm already
Really?
there. I'm already. When I see you, I only see me.
Yeah.
I see my reflection.
Okay.
So I'm just a different concept of you. You're a different concept of me. Because we got the commonality of basketball.
Yeah.
So this is heaven for me. Basketball is my heaven. Basketball led me to meet you.
Yeah, that's true.
So if basketball was my heaven and God channeled me to take a certain route,
Yeah.
it led me to the rock.
Yeah.
You define heaven as your experiences here on earth, or everything you go through, good or bad. That's part of
As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. Like the heaven, your mind. Like,
So I'm interested in asking you this. What do you think hell is like then? Like, do you think hell is a legitimate place that people go to, or is it all just here on earth? What's your thoughts?
hell is an experience that it's the unknown, and it could be what was taught to you. So if I grew up somewhere, if I grew up with you in a household, and you continue to tell me that I'm never gonna be nothing, and you ain't this and you ain't that, and that's up, you're gonna be like, yo, I'm living in hell. But if I tell you that you're the greatest, you're the image of God, you're gonna carry yourself that way. So you're gonna carry yourself as you're living in heaven. But if I keep telling you that, yo, someone got shot around the corner, this person is living like this,
Yep.
this person like this, you're gonna continue to be living with that hell mindset. And it's hard to get out that mindset because it's been so channeling to us and as a programming that it's easier to live that way than to live the opposite way.
And hell is your fears and your uncertainties and your, say, negative experiences that you don't really grow from. That's kind of what you're saying?
It could be an experience that you don't grow from, but it could also be something that's taught. Fear is taught. Fear was something that was put on us to make us not go around the block, or to have this systematic control of where the narrative goes. But if I don't teach you fear, you don't know what it is. If I see someone on a basketball court and they're bigger than me, automatically he's bigger than me. So someone said just because someone's bigger than you, they could move you around. But then if I say, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I carry the same weight as them.
You know, based on what the Bible says, it goes a little bit different, in a different view, because Jesus does talk about a literal place called hell and a literal place called heaven. And so, you ever heard what he said about the afterlife and how to attain heaven? You ever heard what he said about how to do it?
I've heard a few concepts.
Well, let me give you the good person test, because most people think that if they're just efficient enough as a human being, that they can attain heaven. And that's where we get the word religion. Religion is my attempt to try to save myself by performance. And if I appease God well enough, he'll look at my good and bad and he'll say I can get in. But let me just tell you, he says the direct opposite. You ever heard of the 10 Commandments?
Yes.
You have any idea what the purpose of the commandments do? You know what they're designed to do?
Yeah.
What would you say the 10 commandments are designed to do?
Have order.
Well, yeah. Now, you may be surprised about this, but it's actually to show you how much disordered human beings are. I'll give you an example. All right? So I'll give you the good person test. All right. Now, give me your name.
Kamar.
Kamar, how many lies have you told in your life?
Lots.
I'm not judging you. I'm just giving you what the
lots,
standard of. What do you call somebody that tell a bunch of lies?
A liar.
All right. Have you ever stolen something? Even if it's small. All right. Me too. All right.
Yeah.
Jesus said, if you look at someone with lust or with lustful intent, you commit adultery in your heart. So you don't have to even be married to commit adultery based on what the Bible says.
Right.
It's Matthew chapter 5, 26, 27. Have you ever looked at someone with lust or sex out of marriage?
Of course.
All right. We're cousins, man. So have you ever used God's name as a cuss word?
Yeah.
All right. To use his name is to express anger.
Yes.
All right. And then we have, what letter's in the middle of the word sin?
I.
So anytime I do what I want to do instead of what God prescribed, then we have just exalted ourselves above the standard. And so this is idolatry, because God made the standard and we do what we want to do with the standard. Therefore, we have committed idolatry. You should not have any other gods before me. And so, man, if you look at the standard, every single one of us falls short according to God's standard. Nobody can attain that perfect state.
Right.
And so if you had to get into heaven just based on the standard, the Bible says we fall short of that standard, and it's a literal place called hell that people that don't keep the standard goes. And so, but here's the reality. Nobody can keep it. So if God is a good and righteous judge, he can't let offenders go without the appropriate punishment. It'll be like a murder that's still before the judge.
Right.
And if the murderer is guilty, the judge has to do what a good judge does. He can't let the murderer go free. And so if God is a good judge, he will have to do what a good judge does on the day of judgment if you stood before him tonight. The Bible says we all deserve to be separated from his perfected God. And so if you had to get into heaven based on the standard, man, you'll be guilty. And the Bible says we deserve to be separated from this God in hell. All right, I know I think you're about to play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the good news after you get through.
Okay.
It's all right, and I want to see what your thoughts is as you go and play. Okay, I don't want to
Okay,
keep you
cool.
from playing. Go
All
ahead,
right,
and I'll finish it up.
All right, cool.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's good.
All
That's
right,
good.
love you, man.
Appreciate it,
Thank
man.
you so
All
much.
right,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much.
thank you.
All right.
All right.